PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at XRP over here, right from the beginning of time in 2014. And then near the end of the video, I'll take a look at this small time frame just so I can show you exactly what XRP is doing at this moment. What we have over here is a 5-wave move up for your wave 1. You then have a WXY correction for your wave 2 coming down to the 88.6% fib. We then have an explosive third wave to the upside with your 5th wave of your third wave topping out at the golden pocket. Then what you have over here is a 3-wave move down. Okay, and within your C wave of your A wave, you have you start to form what's called channeling, or in other words, an ending diagonal. And you see how you move below this channel? This would be considered your manipulation right down to the 702. And then we go ahead and start our B wave. So now within your B wave, you're going to have an A wave in the form of a leading diagonal. Your 5th wave of your A wave tops out at the 2.618. You then have a flash crash down to your 786. And then you start your C wave to the upside to finish up your B wave. Okay? Then we come down for our C wave in a 5-wave fashion. So remember, like I said, whenever you have an explosive 5-wave move to the upside, the traditional ABC correction would look something like this. You have your A, B, and then your C. But with XRP, what we had was our 3-wave move down, a 3-wave move up, failing to breach this high, and then a 5-wave move to the downside, finding support at key Fibonacci levels, and then going into accumulation for over 600 days. And now what we're about to see is our continuation up. So this over here was your A wave, this is your B, and then this over here was your C. So you have a 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, and a 5-wave move to the downside. 600 days of accumulation at the lows before we have that continuation, targeting liquidity above your last all-time high, sitting at $3.40. Okay, so this is exactly what we see. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then another 5 down. Correction finished. Now we're within our macro 5th wave. At the beginning of January, we went into what's called a leading diagonal, similar to that of 2020. Okay, 2020 was a leading diagonal. The only difference between 2020 and now is that we were within a B wave. Now we're within our impulsive wave. So this is our wave 1 of your leading diagonal. Come down to the 786 in the form of a WXY correction. And now what we see over here is that we're entering into phase E of Wyckoff accumulation. Now phase E is what I like to call point of no return, and I'm going to show you now I know I showed you Wyckoff accumulation and how XRP is doing it in my previous videos, but I like to refresh you guys so you guys can keep your eye on the prize. So all we're doing is we're just analyzing this. We're just analyzing this accumulation structure at the lows. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Okay, and we'll take a look at it on the 4-hour time frame here, and we'll follow along with the diagram. So what you have over here is you have your preliminary supply. So it's one up thrust before you enter into a selling climax, and because everyone is selling their bags over here, the composite operator buys up all that fear. And it doesn't take much money to move the price back up. So you have what's called an automatic rally. After your automatic rally, you have a secondary test of the lows, and then a move back up to the top of the range for your failed breakout. After your failed breakout, you go below this psychological support here to formulate your secondary test in phase B. After your secondary test in phase B, you move up to the top of the range one more time. Okay, so we move up to the top of the range one more time for your failed breakout number 2. We then come down to mid-range and chop around here. Okay, the price gets squeezed into your sign of strength. Now the news is timed perfectly. Okay, the news is timed perfectly with the charts. So you see how right after your last point of support and right after that squeeze mid-range, Ripple wins the lawsuit. And then we have our sign of strength. Now over here with your sign of strength, this is where all of the retail pile in their money. They take out their savings, their retirement fund, and they just put it all in here, all into XRP, because they think that it's going to keep going up, and that Ripple winning the lawsuit constitutes a blow off top right from here. But remember, whenever you spot your high volume move above the top of your Wyckoff accumulation range, don't buy into that. What you're going to want to do is reverse the trade for the anticipation of a backup phase. Now the composite operator will always bring it back down. So we have a backup phase near the top of the range, around mid-range. Okay, so we come down here and have your backup phase right down to the 786. We were within this resistance for over 237 days. Okay, we were 230 days, we were under this resistance. Now we've popped our head above it. Okay, we've popped our head above this resistance. Not only that, but we are above the 50-day. Okay, we're above the 50-day and the 200-day SMA. So what does that create? That creates a golden cross. Now golden crosses are very bullish. It's a sign that the trend is shifting. We've already entered into phase E. We're just grinding out here on the small time frame before we have that push up. Okay? The next liquidity we target, or the next macro liquidity we target, is above all-time high, or above your last all-time high. Okay, sitting at $3.40. And what we can do is, now that I've showed you that XRP is going to break out in 2024, a very parabolic breakout, I've showed you this scenario over here. I've showed you the high time frame wave count. Okay, I've shown you every single wave since the beginning of time. Every single wave is calculated. Now what I'm going to show you is the psychology of what's happening over here. We found some rejection. We found some resistance here at the 702. If we manage to, and we're holding above the 50 and 200. Remember that. Holding above the 50 and 200, as well as the 30-week SMA, popularized by Stan Weinstein. Okay, this is the 30-week SMA. You see how we're perfectly holding above it? Okay. Now as soon as you get over this region over here, it's going to be very parabolic from there. So what you have over here is your lag phase. So this is your lag. So it's lagging. People are still doubting it. People are still doubting XRP. Okay, they're still doubting it. And then once it gets above the 702, once it gets above the 70.2% fib, and once it gets above the 786, then it becomes the parabolic phase, and then people are like, it's too late, and then they FOMO in right over here, and then you have that parabolic phase right after that. So right now we're still within the lag phase. This is your parabola right here. I'll show you. This right here is your parabola. Okay, this is your parabola. People are still doubting XRP, right? But then as soon as you get over that 702, 786 region, which is this red zone over here, then it accelerates beyond belief, okay? And it becomes disbelief. This is the formula of exponential growth. Gains are slow in the beginning, but then as time progresses, the gains accelerate beyond belief. Okay, so once you get over that red region, it would be considered your disbelief phase. So, or you can even call it your FOMO phase. So anything below it is your lag phase. Once you get above it and pop your head above it, that's your disbelief phase, and everyone starts FOMOing in. So I've shown you the psychology. I've shown you the Wyckoff accumulation scenario. I've shown you the high time frame wave count. Now, before I end this video, let's take a look at some of the small time frame wave counts that I have over here. Okay, so let's go to this layout that I have here. Okay, now so if Bitcoin holds, if you haven't seen my Bitcoin video, please go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin video. If Bitcoin holds, then we can say, oh, okay. We could say, oh, okay, the correction is done. Okay, so look, we had our 5-wave move up here to the 1.382. We had a flash crash down to the 702 for our A wave in a 3-wave fashion. We have a 3-wave move up for our B wave, rejecting off the 1.618 or the 70.2% fib, and then a 5-wave move down for our C wave, finding support at the 786. Okay? See how we found support at the 786? At 0.5761. So this scenario suggests that the correction is done. Okay? And then this is your wave 2, and now we're about to start our huge wave 3 to the upside. Okay? That's your first scenario. Okay, the second scenario suggests that if we lose this low over here at 0.5973, then it's likely we're going to come down for one more sweep of the lows, which would look something like this. Okay? Where you're not done your 5th wave yet. Okay, so around the 54, 50, 52.75 region, that's where I would expect this to bottom out if bulls cannot hold 0.5858. So if bulls can hold 0.5858 and 0.5927, then it's likely the correction is done. And what do we also see here on XRP? Let's go to the Coinbase chart here. We see what's called a broadening bottom pattern. Okay, you have a broadening bottom pattern. Okay, you also have a diamond bottom pattern. Okay, this is your diamond bottom. And with diamond bottom patterns, you have a move from the left corner up to the top of the diamond, and then you have a swift move or a capitulation down to your apex, a creep up to the side, a move back down to the retracements, and then a huge push up that would leave people in disbelief. Now remember, I'm not denying that this may be a continuation down, but what I want to see going forward is for bulls to hold these levels over here. And right now we're holding the 618. We're holding the 618, and I want to see bulls hold this level over here. I want to see bulls hold this level. Okay, at least the 702 at 0.5930. If we can't hold that, then we'll come down just a little bit more just to sweep this low at 0.5682. Okay? But regardless of these subwaves over here, the macro time frame on XRP is extremely bullish. Okay? What do we also see over here? We see a possible inverted head and shoulders pattern. So this over here would be your, let me see here. This over here would be your left shoulder. Then you have your head Okay, this is your head, right? And then you have a right shoulder right over here. And then this over here would be your neckline, and this right shoulder would be a little bit smaller than what I showed. Okay, it would look something like this. So we have three patterns here. We have an inverted head and shoulders, we have a diamond bottom pattern, we have a descending broadening wedge. Okay, so this is a descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish pattern, and we're currently holding the 61.8% fib. So it wouldn't surprise me we have that breakout soon. But I mean, if you lose 0.5938, then we're going to come down and sweep this low just to finish up your wave 5 of C. So we have a descending bullish descending broadening wedge pattern with a diamond bottom pattern forming. Not only do you have your diamond bottom pattern forming, but if we take a look at your RSI, we see on the 3-hour time frame bullish divergence. Okay, lower lows on the price, higher lows on the RSI. Very, very significant. Okay. Now, before I end this video here, let's take a look at the total altcoin market cap, because I must remind you that XRP will not move on its own. It's going to follow the total altcoin market cap, and we're currently holding the 50%. We're seeing a really nice push off of it. Okay, this is your left shoulder right here. Okay, this is your right shoulder, and then this is your head. You see that? This is your neckline. And we perfectly bottomed out at the 61.8% fib on the linear scale. You see how we perfectly wicked there? What are we also seeing? We're also seeing bullish divergence at the bottom. Look over here. Lower low on the price, higher high on the RSI, and these lower low on the price, higher lows on the RSI, and this trend line is still holding over here, right on the 50% fib. Okay, you see this nice push up that we're having on the 50? Now what I want to see for the altcoin bull market, is a move above this. A move above this 50% and this 618 right over here. Okay. Not only do we see an inverted head and shoulders, but we see a descending broadening wedge similar to that of XRP. Remember, descending broadening wedges are bullish. And we're actually above it. We're above our descending broadening wedge, and we're using it as support. You see that? Very, very significant. Okay. This over here would be your, let's go on the 30-minute time frame. Okay. You have your ABC down. Okay, you have your ABC down. Right? You have your ABC up. And then you have a 5-wave move to the downside. This is your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your 5th wave to complete your ABC correction. So this is your A wave down, your B wave, and then you have your C wave. So you can look at it like that, or you can just look at it like a simple bull flag. Okay, this is your descending broadening wedge, where we've had our 5-wave move up over here to complete your wave 1, and then you have your correction, which is your A wave, B wave, C, D, and then your E. Bottoming out perfectly at the 61.8% fib. So it wouldn't surprise me that this is the bottom for altcoins. Okay? As long as we hold this 50% over here, which we are doing perfectly. Hope you guys enjoyed the XRP video, the total altcoin market cap video. Everything is looking really good from here, and there is nothing to worry about. If we do come down, just remember that it will be a dip for buying and not for panic selling. Hope you guys enjoyed the XRP and total altcoin market cap video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. If you like the type of content you see, then click the link in the description below to join the Discord. It has over 300 charts. You get access to a community, and you can ask me any question you want in real time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.